welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I kind of want to do like a chill little sit down video, and I feel like I get these questions all the time, hence why I feel like I wanted to kind of like make this video and, you know, spill the tea, jump into something about motherhood, bringing it back to my roots or whatever. If there's any other questions that I don't cover, don't be afraid to either DM me on Instagram or leave your comments, you know, down below. Honestly, one of the main, I always get questions on either was it harder for me to transition from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 2 kids? How is it with me and my hubby, or when me and my hubby first got together, or even now? How is everything panning out? And just how is it genuinely with motherhood with 2 kids, right? So moving on, I'm gonna jump into the most asked question, which is, was it harder for me from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 2 kids? And to be honest, it was harder for me from 0 to 1. And I feel like it was harder for me from 0 to 1 because your life before, my life personally, I should just speak for myself, my life before kids was so different than being a mom. I was always on the go. I lived freely. I was a hippie. I did things differently. I had no type of like, what should I say, like routine. Like every day was different. I would go downtown. I would literally go hiking by myself. I would do all these things that like I'm way too scared to do now, especially by myself. And I made so many amazing friends along the way before kids. Like I was just so free spirited. I love it. And I was always go, go, go. With kids, I feel like I still don't feel like I'm a routine mom. I really do try to put myself into these routines, but I fall out of routines very easily. And I think that moving into motherhood for me was just like, it was a very different lifestyle. Like not saying you can't be go, 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 but my life, obviously, like I'm not going to be bringing my kids around like random people, hanging out with hella people. Like, no shade to anybody who does, but I'm just saying for me, it was a no-go, and my life changed drastically. And my major was early childhood development. Before I gave birth, I changed my major, and I don't regret it one bit. I learned so much along the way. And I took so many classes before I gave birth to Gia, so I felt like it helped me so much more kind of like learn how to navigate motherhood a lot better, but also what you go through internally. I don't feel like there's a book that can kind of help you. So I definitely feel like it was harder for me because it was a complete lifestyle change. So if you are feeling that way, don't be hard on yourself. I really try to like be honest with other moms. Oh, look at my little Gigi. Thank you, baby. I really do try to be like very honest with other moms and be like, don't be hard on yourself. Like this shit is hard, you know? And of course, in motherhood, I feel like you do see a lot of highlights of amazing things. You're like, oh my God, like look at these bitches cooking cookies. And they're just like, y'all are just doing the do, like just having fun. Like there's so much more to motherhood. And it is very like emotionally, physically, and I get financially, it is very trying all around. So I just feel like give yourself grace, give yourself time to like make that complete transformation. We have to like get to know ourselves as parents and kind of like leave behind who we were before, because I feel like I was like such on like this thing of like, I want to get back to who I was, like, which is great. I think that it's awesome that I look at, you know, specific aspects of my life and I want to like bring that back, and other moms may want to too, but we also have like shed layers. Like we're like a new onion, you know, and a new layer of onion, and it's like we have to kind of like get to know ourselves on this like new journey on motherhood, you know. So don't forget that just getting to know your new self, loving your new self, and maybe like just figuring out new things that you can do in motherhood is also like so positive as well. Sorry, I don't want to like super go on that, but I feel like, yeah, I had really bad postpartum too, because I didn't do those things. So I'm just sharing that with y'all now, because I feel like my transition and my understanding that I was never going to be the same person came very later. So I will share that with you guys, and if you guys want to learn more in depth about my postpartum depression, I'll put like a card and you guys can go watch that video. I think I made it like 2 years ago or something like that, so you guys can go check that out. Moving on to the next question. Okay, so another one of one of my most asked questions is about in regards to me and Stefan. People always ask me, like, do we fight? How are things like going on with us? And I feel like with Gia, after Gia was born, we fought a lot. And the thing is with me and Stefan, we got pregnant before, like, fairly quickly. So we were still getting to know each other, and then we jumped into parenthood. So then you have to like quickly adapt into parenthood while you're still getting to know each other and you're transitioning. So yes, like it was very hard and we argued. So I don't want people to think like, oh my God, we're so perfect. Like our neighbors are probably like, our neighbors are probably like, girl, let me give you the tea. Yeah, we're human, girl. Yeah, we be arguing, we be fighting, we be disagreeing for sure. And you know what's so crazy is I feel like a lot of people will talk about how, even before I feel like you have kids, they'll say like, oh, you should talk about like how discipline is and how this is. And ultimately I feel like, yes, you can. But nobody's ever going to react, I feel like, the way they say they will, unless they're in the situation. Like people might say, oh, I'm going to talk to my kids and I'm going to do this and I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to do that. But when you are a parent, things are different. Things may trigger you. Things may make you feel a certain way and your parenting may be different. So me and Stefan, I feel like our parenting styles are very, very different. And when Gianna was a kid, or when she was a toddler, I should say, very young, I feel like there is parenting, but there's not a lot of parenting going on. Like obviously they're toddlers, they don't really know much, so you're not going to be like constantly on them. You know, you might be like, don't climb this, don't climb that, if they're very active or getting into cabinets and stuff. But Gia, for the most part, she was like, she wanted to do art. Like I could paint with her and sis might paint on the floor or something, but she wouldn't like eat it. She wouldn't paint walls. She never colored walls. She never climbed. She never got into our cabinets, opened drawers. Like she was like a very like, she was like a very easy toddler, and she grasped things very quickly. I would teach her ABCs. Like she was just like very fun all around. But as they grow older, obviously there is tantrums, and then her personality is very strong. She has a very strong personality. So I feel like as they grow older and they start to come into their personalities more, I feel like you will see how you and your partner's discipline or the way that you parent your kids could be different, even though they say, oh, I'll never do this, I'll never hit my kids, or I'll never, you know, do this, or not hit them, but, you know, spank them, or I'll never yell at them, or I will talk and this and that. So things change, and that is a big thing with us as well. Not only do we like argue and disagree with like our relationship, but I feel like most of our like disagreements, especially now with Junior in the picture, are more so like on parenting style. So yes, they say talk to your partner about it, but I also feel like you'll never know until you're in the situation, you know? So there's that. Okay, spilling the tea. Another question that I get asked a lot is, how is Gia with Junior? I have a lot of people who are like very nervous about having more kids because they're afraid that their child may feel left out and things like that. And my mom was telling me about one of her neighbors that she's talked to. She was afraid because she thought maybe her child would be jealous. And that's so crazy because I didn't, or be like aggressive or hurt them and stuff, which is like, that's a thing. Like kids do that. and they react through jealousy. And obviously if your child is younger, I feel like they're not going to be able to like communicate their emotions effectively, so they're going to act out. They may hit, they may do things like that, right? As opposed to if you have like a 10-year-old and he was hitting your toddler, you'd be like, whoa. Like, what I'm saying is, yeah, it will be harder for them to communicate those emotions even like as young children. So when Gia first, I'm gonna spill the tea, all the tea. Are y'all ready? So when we first had Junior, like she was so excited, like she was so helpful, and she still is. Like, girl, she's literally my right hand man. Like, she helps me. She's like amazing with Junior, but girl, like, she has her moments, and aggression has always been her thing since she was like a toddler. She's just very bold, and obviously when you have a new baby, like they're a new baby, like you're smothering them with love, you're, you know. And from when I was pregnant, I literally had emotional crying spills because I would call my mom and I was just like so afraid that she wouldn't feel as loved, because she was literally my little bestie like before Junior. Anywho, she adapted really well, and then it sets in. It's like a honeymoon phase, like even a relationship. Like, they're like, okay, like, okay, he really here to stay. Like, okay, this is not a stick up. This is not a joke. Like, oh wow. We definitely struggle in that area still. And I feel like we've never had to discipline her more than after we had Junior. Like, before Junior, like, there might be like, no thank you, Gia. Like, we might have put that girl on timeout like a handful of times. Now it's a whole different story. Like, oh my gosh. And then I feel like sometimes I don't have the patience. I may yell, and it's just, you know. And as a parent, like, when you think about those things, like I said, you might say, I swear I was never gonna yell, I was gonna be like calm. And it's just like, sometimes in those moments, like, you just get triggered and you're just like, you yell, and then I feel bad about it, and then I'm always like worried, like, am I traumatizing her? Like, so she definitely has her moments, and it is very hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And other children, I feel like they may have different personalities and they may adapt well. And I think that when you have help and you have time for, number one, like you and dad, to take time to yourselves and go on dates for yourselves, I think that's really important, because you can have the love that you guys need there, which ultimately is going to trickle down into your parenting, into the way you communicate with each other and the way you lead your household. And I think that having time with each of your kids alone is also really, really important, because they need to feel important too, you know. Because even when we do things like with Junior, she'll be like, well, like, I just want to do things like just with you, like just with me and you, like we used to. Or you always play with Junior but you don't play with me. Or you know, you guys just love him because he's a baby and I want to be a baby. All of those feels. Like, we've been through all of that, and it is so trying. And I feel like that's why, like, when Stefan sometimes it's kind of like harsh, I'm just like, first off, that's my baby, and that's on period. You're not about to do my baby like that. And so but trust me, I've also had to check myself and been like, true, but now your baby is turning into a baby tyrant because she believes that you're gonna stick up for her. So, plot twist, parenting is actually hard. Anywho, in that sense, it is very trying. And those are some tips, those are some tricks, those are some things I learned along the way. And I feel like those are really like the main questions that I get asked. And even for myself, I'm gonna just talk about my own journey just really fast, really touch on it really quick. And in motherhood as well. How do I feel? How am I with 2 kiddos? And honestly, I feel like 2 kids was easier than 0 to 1 for me. So I feel like I'm doing fairly well, but I also feel like with 2 kids, my hands are more full. And when I had Gia, she was in school, so I would be able to, like, after class, I would sneak away and be able to, like, go get my nails done or have some time for myself. I don't have that now. I don't have childcare because I'm not working. So there's no reason to put them in childcare. And even if I did, it would just be really hard. And financially, I think that right now it is very hard because we have like a power struggle of like, he works all week, he wants time to himself on the weekend, and I'm like, okay, but I work all week too basically, and I still have to wake up and breastfeed, and I want time to myself too. So I feel like there is like a power struggle with that. And I just think as time goes on, like, we'll get better, obviously. And then as your kids grow older, I think it's better. When they're younger, they're very, very reliant on you. Or like I said with me and Stefan, I think it's just like a power thing. Like, I work all week, and I'm like, okay, I work all week. And we're just like, I want Saturday. And he's like, I want Saturday. I'm just like, wow, like, this is ghetto. I think as a mom, it's so important to get time for yourself. And I personally feel like I need more time for myself, because the more time you get for yourself, I feel like you can be a better mom. And we're still individuals, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of moms forget that, like, we are an individual first, because at the end of the day, your kids will leave the nest, and you may or may not be with your partner forever, but you still have to live with yourself forever. So if you're so involved in making sure everyone's cup is full, but you don't fill yours up, then you're going to be pouring from an empty cup. You're going to be burnt out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be screaming. You're going to be yelling, which is everything that I do. Like, who is she? Toxic. No, I'm just playing. But I'm just trying. I'm hanging on by a thread. When the kids are asleep, I will take hour-long showers. Like, if that's the best I can do right now, that's the best I can do. But when I do get my time to like go out with my girls or hang out with my friends, go get coffee, go get lunch with my friends, like, it is so rejuvenating. So don't forget to do that. Even if you're not feeling good, you're feeling down, you have postpartum, like, fight and get out and like really try to do some things for yourself. I had someone reach out to me in regards to like postpartum, and they were talking to me about them feeling like they had postpartum and what did I do, and kind of like some tips and stuff. And I really feel like, take your vitamins, drink water, make sure you're eating food, and do things that you love to do. Like, seriously, don't forget you. You know, you are just as important. So those are some tips and tricks. So yeah, I think I covered everything that I wanted to. It was a good little chit chat or whatever. Motherhood. She crazy or whatever. There's a saying that's like, ain't no hood like motherhood, and she ghetto. This is the real hood, y'all. Like, but you know, we make it out. We're thriving or whatever. We're surviving, like, and your kids are well worth it. They're amazing, and their little smiles, like, Christmas time, especially with Christmas time, and now that Christmas time is here, like, don't even get me started. I love it, and I will continue to go hard and be that extra mom for life. Plot twist, if you think about it, once your kids turn into preteens, they are no longer gonna like be like want to be around you, want hugs, want kisses. They're literally gonna be like, oh yeah, like I'm hanging out with my friends, like, oh dang, like I got a friend. Christmas, like with my family on some corny shit, like, oh I got a girlfriend, oh I got friends, oh I want to do this, I want to do that, and they're really not gonna want anything with you. So it's like, damn, we're literally only guaranteed like maybe 12 to 13 good summers. I'll say 13. 12 is a little 13 good summers, 13 good Christmases, 13 good everything. And then after that, when they're 14, they may be like, yeah mom, like I'm not having a party at the house, like I'm going to the movies with my friends. Or yeah, like I'd rather spend, you know, like mom, I'm not gonna go looking at lights. Even at 13, they might be like, nah sis, like, you know. And it's just like, damn, like we never think about that. And I am not missing my time to be extra with my kids. So I'm soaking it up, I'm living it up. I just love motherhood. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really would love to do more videos like this. So if you guys have any questions or want to do more sit downs with me, comment down below and let me know what you guys would like to see. I hope you guys are liking Vlogmas, and yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye you guys.